are you doing, brother? Oh, it's funny to you, huh? And brother said, man, yeah, no, I'm just going to do this time. I'm going to go home. And I used to see them brothers go home and come back in. During my 10-year prison sentence, I'd be like, brother, you ain't even been out 90 days. How the heck you catch a case, get convicted, and come back in 90 days, brother? The belief system. See, they kept that belief system when they was inside of prison. They kept on doing the same thing because the belief system would only allow them to do the same thing. Even though they say, man, I'm a father. I said, brother, how are you a father and you're not making yourself accessible to you and to your children? How are you a father and you're not taking care of yourself, brother? You put yourself in a place of prison. And something that burnt my soul about prison was the fact that I said, hold up, man, I'm a legal slave right now. And people say, man, you know what, Carlos? It's like slavery. I said, no, it's not like slavery. I'm a legal slave. And what I realized, oh, because you see this in the middle of my shirt, right? That's when I read the 13th Amendment, the Constitution, the law of the land. When slavery was abolished in 1865, it said neither slavery nor involuntary servitude except for as punishment for a crime where the party shall have been duly convicted shall exist in the United States or any other place subject to their jurisdiction. I said, hold up, man, time out. You telling me the only way that I can be a slave in the United States of America is if I get convicted of a crime and it serves as punishment? I said, wow, I thought they abolished slavery. It's like, no, slavery still exists. Here's the loophole to keep it going. I said, so now you mean to tell me we're not being forced to be slaves, we are volunteering to be slaves by allowing these belief systems to have us holding on to our pistols, gunning brothers down, selling dope. I said, wow, this is crazy. And I started to look deeper into it, and I said, man, you know what? What you mean Walmart, Target, Hewlett-Packard, Victoria's Secret, Honda, they get the work done inside of the prisons now because they don't have to go to the third world countries to get the work done. They can pay the people inside of the prisons 22 cents an hour to get the work done because it's 2.3 million people that is currently incarcerated in the United States of America. And we are all volunteering to get incarcerated. We are volunteering to be legal slaves. And Walmart is making money on my labor. Like, I just felt a certain type of way. I didn't feel successful. I'm just going to be honest. I looked at it a certain type of way. But once I started to do that, I said, I got to go ahead and form a new belief system. Now, this is when you got to be courageous because I said, I'm going to go against the dominant thinking of my peers. You know how courageous it is to go against the dominant thinking of your peers? I'm talking about everybody inside of the prison, they think in a certain type of way. They continue to promote the same behavior that got them locked up, and then they get re-locked up, and then they end up seeing their children come in getting locked up. So I had to go against the dominant thinking of my peers. And I had to go get different information. I said, I got to get different information because I need a new belief system. I realized that I had a faulty belief system and I got to do everything in my power to get rid of that belief system. Courage is not the absence of fear, it's the triumph over it. That means that you're going to feel fear, my young people. You're going to feel fear, but I'm telling you, do not allow that fear to keep you in your tracks. Feel the fear and go anyway. Because I was looking at it and I said, man, how are these people going to respond to me not cussing? Because I stopped cussing inside of the joint. I said, I'm going to start to go ahead and monitor my language. I stopped cussing. So I used to say when the music was on, I'd be like, mother lover. Brother's like, man, Los, this cuss, man. I say, nah, I don't want to cuss because I want to get rid of the language that I had when I got incarcerated. I'm going to start with my language. That's what I did. I had to go against the thinking. And I did that because I said that I had a son that I was going to have to raise. So I committed to my journey inside of the prison. So I did the whole entire 10 years. I said, man, you know what, let me go ahead and get into college because I know that education will be able to give me some options that I wouldn't have without the education. So I got into college. I graduated from business management with a 3.83 GPA. Man, y'all ain't gonna clap. Y'all know what that 3.83 is hitting for. Like y'all in the midst of it right now. Y'all know how hard that is to get. I got a 3.83 GPA in the midst of the scuffle. People fighting, they arguing about who the best rappers and everything else. People smoking weed, they getting high, they doing all of this stuff. And I'm in the book studying, making sure that I pass my grades so I can go ahead and get that certificate from college. I said, I'm not done. I'm going into administrative office technology for vocational training. This is what I did for my 10 years. My belief system started to make me do different things. I said, I can't be that same outlaw that I was to get me incarcerated because I don't like these outlaw benefits. I want to be able to be a civilian. So I need to do civilian things. In order for me to do civilian things, I got to have the mind of a civilian. So the only way that I'm going to have the mind of a civilian is if I get the information to form it. I got into administrative office technology. I learned the computers, Microsoft Access, Access, Excel, Word, and PowerPoint. I'm at the keyboard right now. I'm telling you, I'm proud of it. I'm typing 40-some words per minute, like boom, boom, boom. I ain't looking at the keyboard nor the monitor, right? Boop, 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 boop. Right, that's what I can do. I know my home key, ASDL, JK, L semicolon. Charged up, the car was slipping, so I know the stuff, right? I got into everything that I could to go ahead and form a new way of thinking, to form a new belief system, because I understand that my belief system needs to be my ally. And at that time when I got incarcerated, my belief system was my enemy. It stripped the quality of my life, and I was honest about it, and that's why I was able to do the work that was necessary to get a new belief system. And I said, man, you know what? I'm not done. I still got time left. I got into Spanish. Exio mucho, pero traigo mucho a la mesa. I demand a lot, but I bring a lot to the table. I got into Spanish. I said, man, hey, if I get a job and they want some Spanish-speaking brother, I'm going to be that Spanish-speaking brother. Excellent, even though at the time that was the only thing that I knew, but I said, man, every day I came to them, they say, brother, you want to go to the bathroom? Exio mucho, pero traigo mucho a la mesa. Brother, do you want to eat? Exio mucho, pero traigo mucho a la mesa. You want to go home? Exio mucho, pero traigo. I learned Spanish. The belief system. I needed a belief system that was going to warrant me a level of success. So people see me where I'm at now and they be like, Los, man, how'd you get there? How'd that happen? The same way that it happened for J.B. Stratford to become the richest black man in Tulsa, Oklahoma back in the early 1900s when he was born a slave. For him to say, man, I believe to be more than a slave, he became the richest black man in Tulsa, Oklahoma. He made sure he formed a belief system that fit his life. J.C. Stratford, he says, man, you know what? I'm more than a slave, and my children will be more than slaves. So I'm going to read, and I'm going to go ahead and petition for my freedom so that they became more than what everybody else said that they are. See, you got to watch out for people coming up with their opinions on who you are based on the information they got, because they ain't got all of the information. They don't know what's going on inside of you. You can be changing your belief system to become different, but they are looking at everything that you did and who you were. But it's about how you look at you. I changed my belief system. I can sit up here and say, man, I believe that y'all gonna be successful all day long. Will that make you be successful? I can say I believe that you have what it takes to get it done. Because I believe that everybody is given what they need to be able to warrant success. Because I believe that every human being on the face of this earth deserves success. I believe that every human being has what it takes. It's just that they don't believe that they have what it takes, and that's why they never access it. That's why they never use it, because what they got, they say they need more. Like, brother, look at what you got and utilize what you got. But what I hear a lot of times is, I ain't got this, I ain't got that. And because they talking about everything that they don't got, guess what? The little bit that they do got, what happens to it? They lose it. The belief. But see, they was taught to believe that you ain't got what it takes. But they have adopted that belief. So right now, you can make the decision and say, man, the belief system that I got is not working for me. The belief system that I have formed, it is a belief system that was formed out of lies. It was formed out of a broken place from somebody else. That means that somebody else was insecure. Somebody else told you that, man, you know what? You can't do that because I wasn't able to do that. And then they tell you like you are them. Like their limited beliefs is transferring over to you. And you have accepted that person's limiting beliefs, but it is your responsibility to say, no, I reject that information. I'm going to get different information to form a belief that works for me. And that's you, that's your responsibility. I changed my belief system. And that's why I can do monumental things. I'm talking about, man, this stuff is like next level. It's unheard of. I've been home for 14 and a half years. When I came home, I said, man, you know what? Hey, I want to go ahead and rent at Lakewood because I came home. I came home to the halfway house in Cleveland, Ohio. I said, man, you know what? I want to go to Lakewood, and that's a nice community. And when I tried to go rent at Lakewood, the landlord told me, I'm telling you, the brother over here with the 3.83 GPA, the administrative office technology, the Spanish, Exio mucho, pero traigo mucho a la mesa. That brother told me, he says, Carlos, man, you don't fit here. Did you see your background? We're not about to rent to you. You got to go rent over there in the projects. I said, cold-blooded. I got the job to support the rent. I'm willing. And you gonna tell me that I don't have what it takes to stay in this type of community? They said, man, no, our neighbors, they are not used to your type. I said, okay, cool. But guess what I did have? I had a belief system that believed that I was more than that. So what did I do? I said, man, that's cool. I went ahead and I ain't gonna tell you, I just went to the suburbs and just laid at somebody's house. No, I went to 30th and Carnegie in Cleveland, Ohio. Right across from the 30th Projects. I rented me a one-bedroom apartment. It was $475 a month, and I had to pay $475 for the security deposit. And I said, man, I'm gonna go ahead and stay here. Now, when I was there, it was crazy because roaches was everywhere. I was fighting with the roaches, and they was aggressive. They wasn't the regular type of roaches. They was roaches that was aggressive. And I used to tell my people, like, man, these roaches, man, they terrible, man. They jumping on me. They doing all kind of different things. You need to come in and see for yourself. I remember I told my brother that, and I brought him upstairs. I said, man, look, see, watch what they do. And they ain't come out. I said, man, how ain't no roaches out? He's like, oh, you tripping, man. You got a nice little bachelor pad. I said, man, no, I don't, man. Like, there's roaches everywhere. And then when he left out of the apartment, it's like they came out. And they was like, man, you talking to people about us? Don't nobody know about us but us and you. You tripping, brother. You better get your act together. I said, man, y'all tripping, man. Like, so the roaches were terrorizing. So even though the roaches was terrorizing me, I believe that all of that was a part of the process. And I was content in my place. Now, just because I was content don't mean that I didn't aspire to do more. I was content because I understood that it was a part of the process. So I paid the rent, I did what I was supposed to do, and guess what? I moved to Columbus, Ohio. After I left there, I moved to Columbus, Ohio a couple of months later, and when I moved to Columbus, Ohio, I got with my soon-to-be wife, then we ended up getting a divorce, but I got with her then, and then we ended up going to where? In a suburb, and guess what we did? We bought a house, because if they ain't gonna rent to me, I'm going to establish my credit, got my work history, 2-year work history, and I bought in a place that they said I couldn't be. after the divorce, came out of the divorce, right, I had to go back and rent again. Right. Y'all laughing about that. I had to go back and rent again. I rented for 4 years, but I still had to believe. I said, man, you know what? I'm not about to fight you for that house. You keep the house. I'm going to go ahead and move on. So I got my son 5 days of the week. He go to his mom on the weekends, right? That's the type of dad I am. I'm straight up. I cook, I do the cleaning, right? I do all of that stuff in my house, right? I'm on Google finding different recipes. That's my life, right? Because I said, he's 13 years old. I said, I'm going to give this brother everything that I got. He's going to have a belief system that's going to put him on another level, and I need to be around him continuously, right? So I'm so focused about that. So I was written. For 4 years, and because my belief system says that, you know what, Carlos, you ain't got to fight her for no house. Just go ahead and continue to move on. You'll double that. You'll triple that. You'll quadruple that. And I said, man, no doubt, no doubt. 2020, April 17th, 2020, right when the pandemic was at its peak, right? I closed on my house in Pickerington, Ohio. Solo dolo. Ain't nobody on that mortgage but me. Solo dolo, right? I'm in that puppy just walking around, got a deck. It's quiet. It's a beautiful neighborhood. I had a belief system that I should be there. And because I had that belief system, I'm able to defy all of the odds that are stacked against me. Because one thing that is not going against me is my belief system. My belief system is my ally. That's my friend. It continues to give me a level of living that is just beautiful. I'm into all of the county jails. Okay, I'm gonna close it out with this. I'm gonna just tell you how powerful that belief system is. Because I had the belief back then when I was 19 to abandon that belief system, form a new belief system, right? And I said, man, I'm gonna form a new belief system. And because I did that, put in the work, I'm able to defy the odds. It's crazy. This is what's going on. Y'all, I told y'all I wrote 3 books, right? I wrote 3 books, and my books right now, they are flooded inside of juvenile facilities, they in the prisons and everything. It's crazy, man. And people are gravitating to that message in the book, right? And it's changing the way that people are thinking. And that's why I say turn the penitentiary on its head and stand the community on its feet, right? So I'm in the county jail, and I said, man, brother, and the sheriff said, man, you know what, Carlos? The sheriff, that's the person who's elected into office. He's not hired, he's elected. And the sheriff, he says, Carlos, man, I'm gonna buy your books. This brother buys hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of books, right? From me, the good brother, right? And he puts them inside of his jail. He says, Carlos, man, the people inside of my jail who are incarcerated, when they leave with the books. I know that it's state property, but I'm gonna let them keep it because if they feel like that they need to leave with it, I'm just gonna buy some more. And I said, brother, keep on letting them leave with them books, bro. But I say, man, Sheriff, man, where are you getting the money, man, to support this movement? And he says, you know what, Carlos? You know where I get this money from? I get this money from drug bust. I said, you get it from drug bust? He says, yeah. What I buy your books with is seized drug money that I get from drug bust. He says, I can buy either equipment with that money, I can either do some training with that money, or I can go ahead and invest into education for the population with that money. And he says, Carlos, man, your book's qualified as education. So that's how I continue to submit the invoices for your books every single other month. I'm submitting an invoice for your books. I done sold thousands of books, man. Like, this is crazy. And I'm telling the people inside how to overcome prison so they'll never get reincarcerated again. Matter of fact, not only for them to overcome prison, but so their children will never enter into prison. That's how we turned it on its head. And they are putting those books around the jail, in the prisons, because why? Because I had a belief system. That I said, I'm more than just an inmate. I'm more than just a convict. I'm more than just a slave. No, I am great. I am a father. I am the leader of a movement. I am a child of God. So every time somebody comes in contact with me, you're going to feel